of the Human Rights Council.
As the Security Council called for last week and the Secretary General reiterated yesterday, all those arrested and detained since the military takeover should be immediately released. This is also essential for an inclusive dialogue and a swift return to civilian rule. Massive street protests since 25 of October were in several instances met with excessive use of force, including use of live ammunition, as documented by the Joint UN Human Rights Office in Sudan, particularly in Khartoum and Omdurman. According to medical sources, at least 13 civilians have been killed by military and security forces since the 25 of October and more than 300 injured. This disproportionately and deadly use of force by the Sudan Armed Forces, the Rapid Support Forces and other security forces, including military police and intelligence element, must end immediately. Those responsible for these and other human rights violations must be held fully accountable for their actions.
International human rights law makes it clear that arrest and detention for peaceful exercise of rights. We are deeply concerned about the deployment of the military in the streets and the consistent allegations of its use of unnecessary and disproportionate force. We are also concerned by the allegations of the curtailment of digital rights and freedom of expression through a blanket shutdown of mobile-based internet and the disruption of telecommunications across the country. Blanket internet shutdowns contravene international law and the scope of permissible restrictions on the rights to freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association. The peoples of Sudan can no longer access and share information and organize online, which is also vital for human rights monitoring.
Are there any other delegations wishing to take the floor for explanations of vote before the vote? I see no requests for the floor. Is there a request for a vote? I see none. May I take it that draft text L1, as orally revised, may be adopted without a vote? It is so decided. Now highlight. The voting process is a member's own